Hey, I just got my little Esbit Coffee Maker in today, and this is going to be like a short little review. We're going to see how it works. I've seen it work online, so I know it works, but I'm going to see how well it works for me. I had got this little Esbit Cookset. Comes with a transient knockoff alcohol burner, a stand, a tray for the tabs, which I'm going to use, and a little pot and a little pan. So it's a neat little kit. So I was in high hopes that this was a little bigger than what it is. I guess that's a cup of coffee for some people, but it's not much compared to my typical cup. That's a half a cup to me, really. So anyway, that's not going to be a big deal. It came with a neat little stand with rubber footies. Footies were all bent up, jammed in the box. And of course it's got its little accessories for the fuel tabs and a little snuffer device to put them out. Believe me, once this thing boils the water, those will probably be burnt out. It takes two of them, which gets kind of expensive. So I don't use those. I have them in my pack, but I don't use them. The coffee pot comes with this nice fine filter, very fine, and it feels like stainless steel, but it is super fine, super duper fine, very fine screen. To keep the junk out of your coffee. We'll see how well that works. It's always been my experience that it results in silt. Whenever I bought this little set, I was hoping that my cook stand, and this was going to be big enough to fit on here, so I could do it with my alcohol stuff. Well, that's not going to be the case. However, I did take the little footies off this stand and flip it over. It's almost perfect. I think with a little bit of modification I can make that fit better. A little bit of sanding or something. Anyway, we're going to try this baby out. I got some ISO heat. I got the red bottle, not knowing that the yellow's better, so I'll probably be swapping that out later and dump this in my truck. It's injector cleaner, so I could use that. And I got my little GSI Java milk. And I've had this for a while, and I really like it. I used to not be a coffee snob until me and my mom got to talking about the old days, her sister grinding coffee, and I actually like this little setup. Pull the handle off, pull the little rotator off, stick it on there, and then stick this back on. Ta-da! You got your grinding handle, and it allows it to pack down better in your pack. So let's grind some coffee, put some water on, and see if we can make us a cup of coffee. I just want to show you, it doesn't hold a whole lot of beans. Usually when I make it, I fill it all the way up to about here, just enough room for the lid to slide in, whatever thickness that is, 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch. But since this is only making 1 cup, we'll try to make it a little bit weak. That's Dunkin' Donuts original blend, nothing special. I usually drink at 8 o'clock. They're about the same, really. I've tried Starbucks. Blech. I've tried Seattle's Best. It may be good coffee in a paper filter, but when you're making cowboy coffee like percolator or maybe one of these setups, you get a lot of silt. I don't like silt. I do a coarse grind. It's got like 7 settings. 1 or 0 being all the way off. I guess you would probably grind it out like dust, and then out to 7 or 8, you know, it makes a real coarse grind. The coffee bean hulls are usually still fully intact, so I got it cut back towards the fine side, probably around 4 or 5. It's still pretty coarse though when it comes out. So let's grind some coffee. Okay, we just got done, and I don't know, it's staying out of focus. I can't make this phone focus. That's a little better. That's pretty fine. I mean, you know, fine enough for what I'm doing. The finer you grind it, the more stuff ends up in your coffee. So, yeah, we'll fire up the stove and put some water on and see how this turns out. Okay, it looks like it used about 2/3 of a bottle of water, which is better than I thought. It's got this little ridge here. That's a good indicator of when it should be full, because you want to keep this out of the water when it's in there. And even then, I wonder if when it reaches a boil, if you're getting too much water in your coffee grounds. It's supposed to shoot up out of there. Just for comparison, we'll see what 2/3 of a bottle of water equals out to. Okay, in my big cup, it's about 3/4 of a cup. So, you know, that is better than I thought. Alright. Got that in there. Drop that baby in there. And then our coffee grounds in there. I think they said it takes about 2 tablespoons for a cup. That's right in line with everything else. You know, you see, that's still a good coarse grind. Okay, I put about 1 ounce of heat in the bottom of this. It already had, I don't know, half an ounce or so from when I tested the pot. This little stove does pretty well. One thing a lot of reviewers have mentioned was the little flame controller snuffer doohickey. Well, it's just okay. You know, you got these nice little fancy holes that's supposed to produce a flame that looks similar to a stove top, which, you know, after it warms up it does. But whenever you put this on here to control the flame is going kind of everywhere. It's coming up out of the middle of the hole. It's not really controlling the flame, you know, making a nice flame. It does cut it back, you know, if you need to just simmer something. I also noticed after it gets hot, you got a little bit of a gap there, and its function as a snuffer is pretty much not very good. I'll show you later. Okay, there she is, bloomed. And one thing I've noticed about this red ISO heat is it soots up something awful. That's one big positive for the yellow heat. It's a finer grade of alcohol or something, because it produces a bluer flame. You know, the yellow means it's hot. That's good, you know, when you're wanting to cook. But the bluer flame puts less soot on everything. I'm hoping my coffee cup is going to be okay sitting there. I think with the breeze, the way it's blowing, it's going to be okay. It's all set up. It seems pretty stable. The hole does need opened up a little bit so that that'll fit on there better. But I'll bring y'all back whenever the fun stuff starts. Okay, I put the little snuffer on there just to control the flame a little bit. With the wind blowing, you know, the flames were getting pretty crazy, and it may reduce the cook time a little bit, but I think it's going to be okay. And hopefully we'll have a fresh brewed cup of coffee soon. One other note, I've watched a bunch of videos and reviews, things about these little coffee makers, and one reviewer had expressed the need to let the water temperature come up slowly so that you get more flavor out of the coffee. Water temperature comes up to whatever temperature comes up to shoot out of here. I don't know if that's really going to make an effect on how your coffee tastes. Of course, he was testing it on a gas stove top, so maybe it does come up faster and makes a difference, but I don't know, it just seemed like snake oil to me. We'll see how this turns out soon. This thing's sooting up real bad already. Look at the poor little pot in the base. It's got black stuff on this side. And it looks like it's cooking the anodized off that aluminum stand. Oh well. Here's another little update. I tried to choke off some more of that flame. I opened closed that lid, that flame adjuster, to, I don't know, maybe 3/8 of an inch gap at the widest point, and it seemed like the flames got higher. Well, we're about the 15-minute mark, and I don't know if that flame is missing the bottom of that or what. I can hear some bubbling inside it. But we don't have any action on the action end. I'm thinking this little pot holder thing, it could probably use some extra holes here on this end, which is technically the bottom. But I think it may help get more heat to the coffee maker. There we go, we got some action. There we go. Now watch this thing take off here in just a second. I don't think all the water comes out. Ooh, it does look watery there. Yeah. And then that's it. And yeah, that's going to equal out to about a half a cup. Half of my big cup, which I guess would be one normal size cup. Not all the water comes out, so since this thing is hot, you can't take it right directly off the burner. That keeps the bottom from getting burned. And as you can see, I'm trying to snuff out the fire with the snuffer, and it's not giving me any love. Okay, the little pot got stuck in the stand, no surprise. I took the rubber O-ring out of the other so that I can snuff this out. Just like that, it's out. Well, that is a good colored cup of coffee. For half a cup, usually coffee that deep, if it wasn't very strong, you could see more white in the bottom of the cup. That's good and dark. I like my coffee black, so that's going to be a good cup of joe. Well, me and the wife agree. That is a good cup of coffee. My main use for this is going to be single backpacking. I like to go hunt morels, or molly moochers as they're known around here. And I got rained on last time and got a little cold. With that alcohol stove, you don't have to try to find dry firewood. You just need to have enough shelter out of the rain so that you can get it lit and get some coffee made in just a few minutes. Yeah, I think it's going to be a keeper. I liked how that just kind of spit it out right there at the end. Me and the wife was just discussing it, and that could be the flame adjuster side, and this could actually be the snuffer. Let's see if it works this way. And no, it does not. No, it does not. Well, how does that happen? Anyway, they could have done better on this. It's just not a tight enough seal there to to actually put it completely out. You have to use this lid, which if that's the case, you might as well have a Trangia. You know, it's the same thing, just a different lid. Coffee went down quickly and nicely and warmly with our little space heater here. And let me get another sip. Yeah, you can see there's some silt in there, so you lose a little bit at the end. You don't want to drink that. Well, now that this has cooled down a little bit, I wiped most of the soot off. The bottom is pretty black, but I was able to scratch it with my fingernail. So I think with a Scotch-Brite pad, it'll clean up nicely. All in all, you know, I really like this. I was even telling the wife that you know, I could make a pot of noodles and pour her section over in there, and I could just eat out of that. And we could split a cup of coffee. You know, that went down nice and warmed us up. So I like it. I wish they would have made it more compatible with the stand on the Cookset. That would have been really, really nice. I'm going to modify this one though and make it work. And I wish they would have done the snuffer tool better for that. Otherwise they just may as well, you know, not include it, because it is made in China. And you know, that was a nice touch. It was a good idea, but could have been done better. Anyway, good coffee. Okay, one more little video here. This is all the coffee that was left in the bottom of that. And there's a lot of soot in it because there's no kind of filter on this little stand. And your coffee grounds fall right through. So that's not really a big deal. I mean, you've seen how it came out. It was nice and dark in the beginning, and looked more like water at the end. But yeah, it did a good job. I'm really satisfied with it. I'm going to see if everything will nest in that pot set. You know, the stand with this in it, because I don't use the little fuel tabs. Even then, if I did want to use them, I mean, you could just put a rock or something under there. You don't have to have that extra little metal stand just to put those on. Could have been a better use of space, in my opinion. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a keeper in my set. I'm going to eliminate that if I can. I don't really need that little stand, even though that fits it like a dream. It's still kind of wobbly. Alright. Hopefully the next video of this setup being used, I'll be out in the woods somewhere. Until then, get out and have some fun. Hey, just one more video here real quick. I want to let you know that this soot cleaned off very nicely with the Scotch-Brite pad. So those are a good piece of equipment to have with you for cleaning pots and pans. Also, I could not make the coffee maker nest with the pot. It's the common complaint with that little coffee maker, that little tube sticking out on the side. They could have done something better there. They could have threaded that. They could have put it on a swivel in some way that it would work better, in my opinion. But hey, it works pretty good. I like it. I think that is everything I can think about it on this setup. It's going to be a good setup for like an ultralight pack, day tripping, maybe an overnighter. So yeah, next time hopefully you see me in the woods. Thanks for watching.